I would never have done that. Look at the situation they chose to exploit, to go after me for political reasons. The death of 4 Americans in Benghazi. I knew the ambassador. I identified him. I asked him to go there. I asked the president to nominate him. There have been 7 investigations led mostly by Republicans in the Congress, and they were nonpartisan, and they reached conclusions that, first of all, I and nobody did anything wrong, but there were changes we could make. This committee was set up, as they have admitted, for the purpose of making a partisan political issue out of the deaths of 4 Americans. I would have never done that, and if I were president and there were Republicans or Democrats who were thinking about that, I would have done everything to shut it down.
Damn. You know, I'm not even quite sure. Was that last thing a little bit of a shot at Obama? Like, I don't think so, but I think it comes across that way a little bit by accident, right?
Maybe.
Which is kind of interesting. Like, maybe she's saying to Obama, like, what, shut it down already. They already told you it was political and it was to attack me. Let's go, right? Anyway, but the main thing she's saying is, hey, I wouldn't have tolerated this if they were attacking a Republican on my watch, and I'm a Democratic president, right? So, yeah, you're asking me, hey, don't both sides do it? No. No, they do it all the time. They did it to my husband. They're doing it to me. And then Obama doesn't do it at all. The Democrats never fucking do it, right? Even when they have all rights in the world to go after Bush on all the laws he did break, on eavesdropping, on torture, on, lying about the intelligence going into the war, all the things they have, a target-rich environment in Don Rumsfeld's language, right?
Yeah.
And yet they never investigate any of that stuff.
Yeah.
So, no, both sides don't do it. So shut up about that, media. Now, my favorite part of that, though, was her attitude. For the first time, okay, there we go. Get angry a little bit. That's good. That's not bad, right? We like a little fire, a little passion. If she comes out swinging like that, rather than the milquetoast stuff she's been throwing up there, right? Then I think people naturally want to rally to her defense and want to rally behind her, because on this issue, she's absolutely right.
Yeah. Yeah, and especially if it's targeted at the opposition and not the only place that Democrats usually turn their rage, which is at more liberal Democrats. So it's good to see that for once.
Absolutely.
Cenk, before you get further, this is the same thing that I think Obama had something to deal with, and she's falling into the same trap. He didn't want to get angry. He didn't want to seem like an angry black man. She doesn't want to sound shrill or like a woman who's complaining. Oh, look at this woman, she's complaining. Don't you hate hearing a woman's voice when they complain? Nag. So she's worried about that the same way Obama was worried about the angry black man label.
Probably,
and fall into the same trap.
And the correct answer for both is, okay. So, I mean, look, I'm not in the spotlight like they are, but if I was, I'm sure they'd say, hey, Cenk, don't do it, because you seem like an angry Middle Easterner. Boy, that sounds fucking dangerous, doesn't it? Right? And I'd be like, oh, really? That's super interesting. Okay, now let me go nuts. Okay? Because, look, who cares what they think? They are Washington idiots, right? They're pundits. They're full of crap. Who cares? Who cares what they think? The question is, what do voters think? And voters are in an angry mood. And then yes, Fox will call you. Fox will call you every name in the book anyway, right? They did it to Obama. They did it to Bill Clinton. Of course, they've already done it to Hillary Clinton. They're going to do it even worse, right? And so, they're going to call you names. Go, call them names. Call them out. So in this case, she said, they're politicizing this. And later in the interview, she's like, basically, and this is not a verbatim quote, but goddamn right I'm the front runner. I'm leading in Iowa, South Carolina, Nevada, and the rest of the country, right? Now, I don't really believe that. I think the polls show that Bernie Sanders is winning in New Hampshire, which she acknowledges.
And Iowa.
And Iowa, and I believe Bernie Sanders is the front runner. But in terms of politics, this attitude is 1,000 times better.
Yeah.
So the people that hurt this country maybe the most are Democratic consultants. The consultants that constantly tell Democratic candidates, don't show emotion, don't show passion, don't show anger, say you love the establishment and keep bowing your head, right? Idiots, almost every one of them, okay? Yeah. Loss after loss after loss, and yet they still keep getting hired to lose elections that should be unlosable.
Yeah. It's as stupid as the mainstream Republican sort of advisors who say you have to come off as intelligent. And this primary season is showing that you do not want to do that at any cost.